right, all you lovely gals and ghouls. This is your favorite budget beauty creator, and we are starting out our journey here for our photos that we're doing for our anniversary shoot. So as y'all have heard me talk about, we've been married. It'll be 5 years next week. And so we are doing a photo shoot where we are swapping the colors that we had for our very, very, very tiny wedding in 2021, thanks to COVID. So our colors were originally green and gold, and I wore a green dress, and my husband wore a like beige champagne colored suit. Well, we decided what we were going to do was reverse the colors. And so this time I happen to have a gold dress that I bought for a wedding, my sister-in-law's wedding in June of last year. And I was like, oh, you know what? We should like keep that, and we should do that. So that's what we're going to do. So I am going to, we have swapped the colors. I'm wearing gold and he is going to wear green. So we have purchased a green and black jacket, and I will get a little closer so you can see the detail on it. It is a paisley green, dark green, black jacket, and we found the bow tie did not come with it. So I had to buy a separate bow tie, and the bow tie actually works really well. The bow tie and the pocket square, you can see there is a little pocket square there. The bow tie and the pocket square came together, and they match this jacket perfectly. So that's why we're going to use a bow tie. He also has a top hat that he used for our engagement photos. Because if you recall, for our engagement photos, we did the Wizard of Oz. And so he needed a top hat to be the wizard. And so we have the top hat, and he will be wearing it. Now, to go with this, he will be wearing black pants and black shoes. So we have the green color in here, and it will show up as green on camera when we start taking photos. And then for my dress, like I said, this is a gold dress. It's floor length, like it's long, and it's long on me. It drags on the floor on me. So I'm not very tall. I am quite average height for a woman. I'm like 5'6". So this dress is actually really long, but I have flats that I'm going to wear. I have gold flats, and I have a gold fascinator, so that I bought, and it is the same brand of the fascinator that I bought for our wedding, which I got a green fascinator for that. So yes, this is our outfits, and so I'm getting ready to start the makeup, which will come in the next section of this video. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Hello guys and gals, we are back. This is the second part of the Budget Beauty weekly episode. This is also a special episode because we are doing our makeup for our photo shoot. So we are doing our anniversary photo shoot, and I'm at the makeup portion of things, and I already got my hair on. So I decided I was going to do my makeup before I put my dress on, and knock that out. So I'm also joined this week by Mr. Budget Beauty.
Hi, everybody.
My erstwhile beloved husband, Brandon. So the whole reason why we are doing our makeup for this photo shoot is because I married him 5 years ago. So
yes, you did. Yes, you did.
we are in fact doing our anniversary photo shoot. So that is the theme of this week's episode. So there is a preliminary portion to this too. So you will have seen that before we get to this part. So I will put everything together in post-production and get on the way with it. And then we're going to have some photos, and we're going to include some photo and some video for the actual photo shoot. So let's get started. So, as y'all know, y'all saw me last week do the test makeup, and I decided I was going to do gold makeup. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do And I was trying to pull it together, and I decided on a few different things than what I originally picked out in the test makeup. So, we are going to get started, though. So, welcome. Hello. So for the face primer, we'll be talking while I'm doing all of this makeup. For the face primer, we're going to start with the Sephora Smooth and Blur primer. And actually, we're going to do the eye primer first, so that while that's drying, we can do the face primer. But for the eye primer, we're going to use the NYX Ultimate Shadow and Liner Primer. This is in the shade Light, so that it will boost this color, because we're going to use gold eyeshadow. I have a couple of options for that, so. But hello, Mr. Budget Beauty.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
So, we're gonna talk about relationship while I'm doing this makeup. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do because this can also serve as the husband tag.
Oh.
See how well you remember things. Okay, so I know most of the questions and things off the top of my head. So, question number 1. What year did we meet?
We met around 1995. We were in high school at the time. You were just starting your first year as a freshman. I was a junior.
Yep, that is correct. Mariah Carey's Always Be My Baby was burning up the charts then. And by that point, by the time she had released that, Daydream came out October 95. So by the time Daydream came out, we'd already met.
Mm.
And I seem to recall us meeting within the first couple of months of school.
Yeah. It was at the time that you actually brought that up, because I was thinking when you brought Mariah Carey, I was like, oh, that was when we had. It was a little bit of up and coming hip hop. It was times where group R&B groups, hip hop were really on the rise.
I want to say she released that. I know she released that album in October of 95, because we went and bought it from Best Buy. Yeah. Which was crazy. We bought it from Best Buy on CD. And then my mom, of course, made tapes for the car. We didn't buy it on cassette like we did her other albums. And then because we originally bought them on cassette, and then we bought them on CD later. Mm. But I'm trying to think, did we when did Always Be My... I'm trying to remember when she released Always Be My Baby as a single.
It was originally in the early 90s.
It's off the Daydream album, but I'm trying to think.
It was 91. I was 91, 92. But
no,
you're right. It is 95.
It was 90. That album came out in October of 95. I know exactly where I was and what I was doing when it came out. No, she released that. That was a late single off of that album.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm trying to think, did she release it as a it was a late single, so it might have been released in 96. It may have, but the album itself came out in 95. She released a bunch of stuff off that album.
Right.
She released Daydream, One Sweet Day with Boyz II Men.
Yeah, I remember the One Sweet Day.
She released Forever. Forever was the last single she released off that. Forever. Always Be My Baby.
I wasn't going to say Honey, but that came out.
No, Honey is the next album.
Next album.
Honey was the next album.
Yeah.
Because it is the last single that I got of hers from her original era. By the time she got to that album, I wasn't listening to. I didn't like her newer stuff. Let me put it that way. I didn't like her newer stuff.
I kind of feel like it was gimmicky, rushed.
It just didn't. For me, that's not who she was, and I know that that's who she wanted to be.
Right.
And so I'm like, hey, more power to you. You do what you want to do. I'm a fan, but I'm not. That's not That's not the sound I'm looking for. I want Torch ballad Mariah. I didn't want hip hop Mariah. So I was like, other people are doing that and doing it well. I don't need you to enter that space too. I like what you were doing before. So
yeah, well, she was also doing bubblegum pop at one point. I was like,
but that was later albums and things.
I was like, I just couldn't
but
get with that.
She yeah, that was like later albums. But by the time, and I know, like, it was well within her rights to change her sound and do what she wanted to do. But I preferred Torch ballad singer Mariah to everything else. So yeah, I was just like, yeah, no thank you. But you know, I was happy to see she was doing okay, and then she wasn't doing okay. And I was like, po thing, you got too much talent though, so I know you'll be fine eventually. You'll be fine. Now she does have a couple of singles later on that I like that I bought, but I have not bought a full Mariah Carey album since Daydream. That would have been the last one that I bought. Now it's let me see the single before I buy it.
Right.
All right, so we have Primer on Face, and it is settling in. That Sephora primer is fantastic. I got another 2 waiting in the wings for when I'm absolutely finished with this one. And I have my eye primer on, so that's drying. And it's actually dry. So we're gonna do the eyes now. Trying to think. So, all right, we're gonna line the eyes with this Ruby Kisses 24-hour eyeliner, waterproof. It's actually a really nice gold color. So I didn't want to do I didn't want to use the ColourPop one just yet. Yeah, I may put it in here if I'm not satisfied with this. So what I'm doing is cutting the crease. And we are not going to do a pinup lash line. We are going to, because we're going to wear mascara, so you wouldn't be able to see my mascara if I did. So I'm trying to think what else. Let's see. So not necessarily, it's not a fun fact, but our late friend Shayla, introduced us.
Rest her soul.
Yeah, Shayla died in 2019. She had cancer, and so and we were best friends from like 6th grade all the way up until like 10th grade, and then we kind of just like grew apart. But she actually introduced us one day. She was like, "Oh, yeah, this is a guy you need to talk to," and I'm like, "Okay." Yeah. I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, he's over here. And so she like walks us over, and she's like, I thought you guys would get along really well. And so, she introduced us, and she's like, this is Brandon, and Brandon, this is Lindsay. And I was like, oh, okay. Hi. I was weird. Like, I was very weird and antisocial. So I was just like,
don't feel bad.
Hi.
I was somewhat antisocial myself. I probably.
But you're an extrovert. I mean, I was.
No.
I was extroverted, but I didn't like meeting new people, and so that's why I was just like,
kind of.
Do I gotta go over and talk to him? She's like, yes, go talk to him, and I'm like, okay. So, because she asked. And so that is why I was like, okay. So, yeah, we got to be friends. And so we would like hang out, and then you would call me. He would call me.
We were interested, both of us were interested in professional wrestling at the time.
Right. And so I was watching, and it turns out, I mean, we were like watching anime, but I didn't know that it was anime. And so I was like, yeah, I was watching Sailor Moon. And you were like, Sailor Moon? What you know about Sailor Moon? But
Yeah.
we used to we talk on the phone all the time. And back when we had landlines,
Yeah.
and now keep in mind, like I say, this was like you got to remember, this is the mid '90s. There were no such things as cell phones. You had satellite phones, but not
Yeah.
like a cell phone. And so it was it was it was like kids talking on the phone. And so we talked on the phone all the time. And then came the fateful time that I asked your mom, I asked you, could you give me a ride home? Because I said, well,
Yeah.
leading up to this, I was like, yeah, we'll hang out with you. We'll hang out with you outside here until your mom comes to get you. Because you didn't want to wait by yourself. And so I remember you saying, I don't want to sit out here by myself. And I was like, oh.
I did? Well,
Yes.
Wait, I did? I can't
You
remember.
did. And
can't remember.
I remember that because I remember being like, okay, guy.
It was like,
That's kind of weird, but all right.
yeah,
So-
maybe I was bored, and it was like, okay, this is boring. And it was that time when Northeast, at our high school, they were basically, we couldn't hang out in the library.
No,
it was
you
like,
couldn't like just
we'd
hang
go all the
around.
way back to the bus area to get picked up after a certain time, which was pretty stupid.
Right. And
That was just dumb.
and
I
they
was like, really?
they herded us around like cattle.
I was like,
It was weird. But
Texas.
this was the thing. I lived across the street. Okay, I lived across the street from, and my apartments are still there. Okay, we actually went over there and like looked at them a couple months ago. But anyway, I lived across the street, so I could have just walked home and been home in like 5 minutes. But he said he didn't want to like be out there by himself, so I was like, all right, cool. So, his mom came to get him, and my now mother-in-law, and so he was like, Mom, could you give her a ride home? She like lives across the street. And I was like, yeah, hi, Mrs. Beatty, can you give me a ride home? And so she was like, yeah, I guess. And it was like, okay.
Yes.
All right, so we get in the car, and I'm literally like, yeah, I live across the street, like 2 minutes across the street. And you got to go down in this one set of apartments, and you can like drive down in there and like cross this little thing, and my apartment is right at the bottom of the hill. So the whole time, and the time it took for us to leave the parking lot at school, go across the street, and drop me off, like the whole time she's like sitting there looking at me in the rearview mirror, like, and I'm like, lady, and I just told him this. I was like, lady, I can tell you, I know exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking, let me make sure I got these keys so I can get in this house, because I gotta pee. Okay, I gotta pee. I need to eat something, and I need to like get started on this homework because I had a lot of homework. So I was like, let me get this. I'm not thinking about your son. I mean, he cute or whatever, but he got a girlfriend, and I have a boyfriend. I did have a boyfriend at the time. It was a really good friend of ours. So I'm like, bruh, I'm not thinking about your son. I'm really not. I'm thinking about, I gotta pee.
Why would this?
So, quickly to interject here, this is the, I don't even know what color this is now, because I've used it so much that the writing has wiped out, but I know that this is the ColourPop Shadow Stick. So, I want to say this is Celestial Top. I want to say that that's what this is. So, I'm going to use this, and I'm probably going to use a topper on this, because this color matches my dress, but it needs to be a little bit, I want a little bit more of a gold, but like a gold champagne, but a little lighter gold champagne. So I'm going to use this though. So that's what I'm doing as I'm sitting here talking. Cause see, you can't really see it on my eyes. So I'm going to have to use some type of topper. Cause it matches my skin tone really, really well. But it's got shimmer to it. So it kind of sort of shows up. So anyway, yeah, she was sitting there side-eyeing me the whole time. And I'm like, girl, can you pick up the pace a little bit? Because I got to go pee.
Yeah, I agree.
So 15-year-old me, as y'all have heard me talk about, 15-year-old me did not have the time for my mother-in-law then. Okay? Much like 45-year-old me don't got the time for my mother-in-law and her foolishness
And I was,
involving her
17
son.
at the time, probably 17,
You
18.
you would have been
17.
probably, so that would have been my 10th grade year, more than likely.
Yeah, 17.
I seem to recall that being my 10th grade year. So yeah, you would have been like 17, almost 18, because I would have turned 15 by that point, and we're 2.5 years apart. So you would have been like 18 by that point.
Yep.
And he had a girlfriend. Man, ain't nobody was thinking about. Listen, I promise you.
I don't know what was. If I had known, I was like,
I enjoyed your company, and I enjoyed spending time with you, and I enjoyed like talking to you on the phone.
Yeah.
And hanging out at school.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
There were no
like full stop. You had already told me you had a girlfriend, so it was like, okay, we're right there. All right, okay, so we know the only place this is going is friends.
Yep.
So that's why I'm like, okay, well that's fine. I'm cool with that. I had no problem with that. So yeah, I was just like, girl, you're doing too much. And as we later learned, definitely doing too much. So all right.
Sigh.
So
Sigh.
for the topper, we're gonna use the Danessa Myricks Color Fix sticks. This one is Duo 3, I think. No, this is Duo 4. So we're gonna put the foil on here. The foil that is known as Artemis. This is like a gold foil, and I'm gonna put it on top of this because you can see it's champagne colored on my eyes. It's very much a top color, but it's matching my eyelids just a little bit too much. So I knew I was gonna need a topper, and I said I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. So let's see what she got. This gold is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. So now the thing about this is once I put this on, I got to put it on and go and do what I need to do with it, because otherwise once it locks down, that's it. It ain't moving. So we're going to start applying this. See, as you can see immediately, I just did a swipe. So I could do, like, you're supposed to really tap it, but I've seen her swipe also. Danessa Myricks in her showcase on how to use this, and that is exactly what I wanted. Look at that. That is gorgeous. So yeah, no, child, I wasn't thinking about. So my husband graduated, and it was like, bro, where you going? So I actually signed his yearbook, and he still had it. I found it many years later. Once we started dating, I found it again, and I was like, oh wow, I remember writing this. So I signed his senior yearbook, and it was an interesting time. So then we lost touch. And we lost touch for like 12 years.
I think I called you one time when I was.
Did you?
I think so, during the summer, yeah.
Yeah, during the summer, yeah. But
Yeah.
then once you went off to like school, that was it.
That
We
was
didn't
like
talk.
1 year I was home from
Oh,
college.
really?
Yeah.
Did you call? When did you call me?
I think it was around like 97. I want to say 97. Summer night.
Well, summer
Actually,
summer of 97, I would have been a junior.
Or 98. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thinking more 98 now because I called you. I was home, and I was that time I was going to college at a 2-year school, and I think later on I would transfer to a 4-year college
Yes.
because I was attending college up in upstate South Carolina.
So that's an interesting point, because once I finished school, I stayed home and went to Carolina here. Okay. I went to USC Columbia. And then once I finished school here, I then got my first job. I was in Spartanburg. And it turns out His people are from Spartanburg, and we lived around the corner from each other and didn't know it.
Exactly. That part was true because
That was crazy.
I was out of college about a couple years. Around it was 2005. It was like out of college for a couple years, and after that I was working. I was working at a Target store in Greenville, and we didn't know we were living around each other, so we
We
didn't know
really
until
didn't.
like later on.
So at this
Excuse
point,
me.
I moved to Spartanburg in 2003 when I finished school. Like late 2003. Okay. Um, which is crazy because I worked with a little fellow whose birthday is in November of 2003, and I was like, bro, I had my first apartment. That's how much older I am than he is. So, yeah, it was very interesting. Living around each other, but not realizing we were living around each other. Um, so while we were in Spartanburg the last time, we did go to the store that I used to go to, and that your roommate, you said your roommate would go to, Tangled Web.
Yeah, because he told me about that, and he told me about it had anime, and I was like, yeah, I was really picking at the time picking up, kind of getting back into my anime watching.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I had like New Type magazines, New Type USA magazines, and
I was just
going
getting
Barnes and Noble was right across, right
right,
down. It was
and I
actually right
used to
down
go
the
to that
street.
Barnes and Noble too.
Oh
So
yeah, so it was.
I was like,
crazy.
how we didn't run into each other? That's crazy.
Exactly.
So while I was living there, I got married the first time, and I I would go, I would go places there, but I lived there for about a year and some change. So I got married the first time. I eloped in 2004, and so as a matter of fact, Halloween of 2004. And so, I stayed in Spartanburg for a minute. Like, I stayed there until about mid 2005. And then I moved to Anderson. So I left Spartanburg. Still didn't know he was there. Didn't, like, talk to him. Didn't keep up with him. While I was in Anderson, I got another job as a copy editor and page designer. I stayed there for 2.5 years, and then I moved back to Columbia. So at this point, it's now 2008. Okay, so I moved back here temporarily, March of 2008, and that same boyfriend of mine at the time, when we were in high school, the boyfriend turned into we friends. We became friends. So we broke up and we became really good friends. And so, when he was in town, I would go over to his house, see his parents, hang out. And so, he happened to have a directory with, like student, like contact information, like alumni contact information. And I was looking for him, and I was looking for another dude that we used to hang out with all the time. And so I found both of them in that book. I said, well, let me look in here and see if I remember it. Let's see if I knew the other guy's name, and I remembered his name. But I was trying to say, I was like, what was his last name? And then it popped into my mind, and I said, oh, well, let me look him up. And he was in there. So I said, well, let me write down his phone number. So I wrote it down. And that was probably, I want to say about September or so. And so, because it just took that long for us to like circle around and meet up again in town. And so I probably around about November, it was middle of November, because election day had happened. But that was the year Obama won.
Right.
I remember that because I was working, and then I got laid off the next week from where I was working, the job that I had taken, which was absolute garbage. But I, in my spare time, I said, well, now I got spare time. I need to look for a job. I said, well, while I'm sitting here, let me call. I'll call and leave a message and see if, he remembered me. So I called you.
Yep.
And I left a message.
We met up at Wow.
At a Wild Wing. So I called you and I had to leave a message because you didn't answer. Then I saw you had a cell phone number and I was like, ooh, I'll call that. So I called and I left a message at your house.
Right.
And so then he called me back and I was like, I don't know if you remember me, but we used to hang out all the time. And he was like, oh yeah, I remember you. Of course I remember you. And so I said, well, we ought to get together. So me, my ex-husband, my now current husband, we meet up at the Wild Wing. And y'all
ensues.
Let me tell you about the foolishness that was that night.
Oh, help us. Oh, God help us.
So, and while I'm doing that, I'm now moving on. As you can see, I now have my gold on my eyes. And I'm now moving on to do my mascara. This is the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. This is Super Volume with Super Fruits. We're going to use the white version here, the Super Volume Volume Booster one. Because we're going to go for big lashes. Big lashes. So, anyway. So, I tell my ex-husband, I'm like, hey, I want to meet up with this friend. I haven't seen him in a very, very, very long time. We're both here in Columbia now. I have, I found him. I've been looking for him because I've been talking about you the whole time.
Right.
I talked about you a lot. And so I said, well, I've been trying to find him and I found him finally. So, we going to meet up with him for dinner. And so we did. We went down. It used to be a Wild Wing Cafe here in Columbia. And
it was right in the Vista.
It was on Lady Street. And so we went to the Wild Wing and we met up. And y'all, he showed up looking like the finest chocolate dream. I ain't even gonna lie. I was taken aback. I was like, hold on. Wait a minute. Whoo, he ain't aged. And he's still kind of fine. Dang. So, but very happily, well, I would say I was happily married, but I was married. So, I'm like, okay, all right, friend, I see you. You done got that glow up. So, I said, well, we need to hang out. We need to hang out. So, I had him come over to the house. We have pictures from that evening, actually. My hair got caught. We have pictures from that evening saved, where I have them saved somewhere, of me and my ex-husband and him, and my current husband, chilling at the Wild Wing. And so, we got to hanging out.
Yeah, we did. He asked me a couple questions about various things in the 80s. One of my favorite, because he was into more like pop culture stuff, geek stuff, just like me.
I have a type. if you couldn't tell, I got a type.
We had a bond with one of the older characters in an old show called Voltron. And he asked me, so it was basically originally based off two Japanese animated series. And he asked me which one did I like. Was it like the Cars Voltron or the Lion Voltron? I said, more the Lions, because that's what I grew up on. I knew about the other stuff, but it's like that came out to like maybe later. And so he said, "Oh, yeah, we bonded," and that was pretty cool. He was in Transformers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was definitely.
Transformers. I have a type. The type of men that I like are.
Nothing against Transformers. I like Transformers, but sometimes it's like.
I like geeks. You got to be able to have some type of. You got to be into like weird stuff. You really got to be into weird shit. For me to be attracted to you. For one, you also have to have some pop culture knowledge, because otherwise, not interested. So it turns out, they had a lot in common. Again, I very much have a type, and so, we all got along just fine, and then my marriage kind of, so.
I had nothing to do with it.
I moved. He did not. He moved. We moved twice. After that, and guess he decided he didn't want to be married anymore. So it was like, okay. All right. So I was like, whatever. So by that point, and one day I'll probably get into it while I'm doing my makeup. But yeah, we wound up not, we didn't stay together. Not too much longer after that, actually. Probably about, 3 years. We split up about 3 years after. Almost exactly 3 years after we met. I just thought about that.
Kind of, yeah. I think
That when we met up again, that was like 3 years. It was exactly 3 years.
That was
almost to the day, almost. I have to look at the date on those photos to see, but yeah. So, all right. So for the mascara, I've applied the primer. For the first, we're gonna use 2 different mascaras. For the first one, we're going in with the big boy, the Sephora size up, and that's going to give us the volume and the lengthening. And then we're going to go in with the Live Tinted Legacy Lash. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to go in with the Live Tinted first, and then we're going to do the Sephora. I was thinking about that in real time. So, yes, we're going to do, this is the Live Tinted Legacy Lash mascara. So, yeah, I was not expecting that my marriage would blow up. So, when it did, I kind of had to pivot again, figure out what I was going to do. And then right when that happened, 3 months later, my mom found out she was sick. And so immediately I started making plans of I'm going to have to get a divorce, more than likely, and I'm going to have to move home. And so move back to here, to Columbia. And so right about that time, so you came to visit me right after all that first went down. So my ex-husband left me in November, and Mr. Budget Beauty here came to visit me in December. And so,
because you came up to visit me during the summer during that time, I think it was 2011. You were in town and we hung out.
Yeah. I mean, well, you came to visit. Yeah, you came to visit in like August.
Oh yeah.
August of 2011.
Oh.
And then he did his foolishness twice within 2 months, and then you came to visit once he left. And so I had decided then, I was like, all right, well, I'm over this. I got some other decisions I got to make, and I got some other things I got to do first before I can focus on like new relationship or whatever. But pretty sure I'm getting a divorce. Like, this ain't gonna be well, maybe we get a divorce. I don't know. We're gonna be separated for, years or something and get back together. Because, see, my previous set of in-law parents, they were married for like 35 years at this point, and they separated for years and then got back together. And so I have a feeling, I think, my theory is that my ex-husband thought he was going to be able to do the same thing. And I was like, absolutely not. You're not doing that. You leave, that's it. And I had already told him, don't do it again. And he did it again anyway. So I was like, all right, well, we're done here. So, yeah, there ain't going to be no back and forth and no, I go live somewhere else for a couple of years and then, I come back when I feel like being married again. No, that's not going to work. You're not doing that. So that is how that went down. So the details of which are not super important here. In the grand scheme of things, all y'all need to know is that I decided once I was done, that was it. And then I decided I was moving on. And so that's what I did. I moved on. And I decided I wanted to move on with him. So what I did was, you say that like that's.
No, it's like I said, lucky me. I said not to be. No, I was saying it was like I'm I'm the lucky guy. I'm the guy that lucked out. I'm the Smo that lucked out. No, it's not like sarcasm. No, no,
That came out
no,
very
no,
sarcastic,
no,
guy.
no, no, no. I mean, lucky me, the guy. This guy, lucky me. I'm like, I keep wondering how did I do it? How? I'm sometimes
Just by
there are
being
days I have moments like this, like how.
being yourself. Because
Sometimes
that is what I was attracted to, was just you
I'm glad.
in
Okay.
general.
I'm
You
not
in
as-
general.
But trust me, I'm not exactly an easy person to live with. I'm not.
You're an interesting person to live
I
with.
try to be interesting. I will go. Okay, granted, I will take that.
There is never a dull moment in this house.
Oh Lord, how?
Never. There's never a dull moment.
How?
But I said, yeah, I'm ready to move on. And I would like to date you. And he was like, well, you got to get a divorce first before we can talk. And I'm like,
No, look,
which I understood in hindsight. I understood that. So I wasn't mad about it. It was just like, bruh, I already know. Like, I know for a fact what is going to happen here. And I know what I would like to do. So, yeah, I don't care about his feelings about this. I don't care.
Yeah, and you're right not to care. But this is remember you said you called this man what, a little dude?
A little dude.
Little dudes are going to strike out. They're going to lash out.
Yeah, sometimes little dudes.
They're going to get that final extinction burst. They're going to say, "I'm just going to come back. I'm going to come at you,
They do.
lawyers." And knowing him, I was like, to be fair, even my mother has chimed
She
in
got
on
little
him.
dude tendencies.
And was going to say, "This man might
Because-
try to come." I'm like,
because-
no, I'm not.
She got little dude tendencies. But my thing was, you don't know what the situation is. So why are you chiming in with your opinion? Your opinion's not important either.
Yeah,
I was like,
little
lady,
dude is
go
just
sit
I
down.
just pluck him and just throw him in the trash somewhere, or just
Yeah.
It was, but just be on the safe side. That's why I said with divorce thing first.
So I did. I got a divorce first, and I really made that work. What I am doing here is I'm adding a little bit more of a topper.
Yeah, kind of go. I see the gold. Yep, I see
A
the
little
gold
bit
flakes. Yeah, I see the gold flakes.
This is, as much as I hate Elf, this is the Elf Finest Fleck topper, eyeshadow topper, and this is the shade. I want to say it's Champagne Dreams. No, this is, what is this? It's Glit. That's what this is. So it is adding a little bit more depth and a little bit more shine to the top of this. Because it is working in concert with the Danessa Myricks.
Yeah.
And it is quite pretty. But I dislike Elf. So
Yes, we know the story.
and as y'all can see, my eyelashes are lashing. So I really love that Sephora size up, and I really love that Live Tinted Legacy lash, because it shows out on my lashes.
Yeah, it does.
It makes them pop.
Yes.
So anyway, all right, now let's turn our attention to the face. We are ready for the face. Now, I've already put my primer on. Y'all saw me do that. So now I'm going to add a little bit of the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum. This is mattifying and priming face serum. I'm going to add a little bit of this to this primer that I already got on. So what we do here is we do not shake. We take this, I put it on the back of my hand and do the drops. You just squeeze the top of this where my index finger is, and you push the drops out. Because what I want to do here is, I'm going to give myself like 4 drops. Alright, so as y'all can see, you can see it on the back of my hand. I'm going to rub this in, and I'm going to put this in on my T-zone, where I be the most shiny, which is here and over here. My face be just glistening if I'm outside for a long period of time, even with mattifying and locking it down with the L'Oreal Infallible. Listen, your girl just be greasy for no reason. So let's get this T-zone too. I get a little greasy there. And on my forehead, actually. So we'll put a little bit on the forehead, too. Just in this general area. Now, it is not super hot outside. So, it's, this shouldn't be a problem. We're not going to be outside all day. We're literally going to go shoot these in our front yard and be done in like an hour. So it's not gonna be super like a long time in the sun or whatever. All right. So now, as you can see my primer all on my face because it is a slight white cast all over here, but that has been sitting on my face for a minute. So, I am now ready for foundation. Now for the foundation, we are going to use this is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation in the shade 230 Malawi. So, really like this foundation. And it is, the color match was fantastic. So, I'm going to squeeze some out here on my Real Techniques palette. I don't need a lot. And then we're going to take this brush like this and apply it. And then we're going to buff it out. See, that's almost too much. Almost. See? Perfect color match. And we're going to add our concealer underneath. In a little bit. So when I finish this, we're going to add the concealer. I love this foundation. Full coverage. Excellent performance. Y'all know how much I love Juvia's Place. It is excellent performance. It is absolutely full coverage. I ain't never seen a Juvia's Place thing that's not full coverage. All of it is, depending on, even if you want to do dewy and all of that. Also too, so y'all know, y'all hear me talk about Hellhound across the street, the man with the dog across the street. Tell me why Hellhound got out the yard yesterday. She ain't know how to act. That dog ain't never tried to get out that yard before, and she got out the yard.
I was coming back from something for work. I had to do something for work, and I was off at the time, so coming back, I saw her. Wait a minute, why is she out in the yard? In the yard in our next door neighbor's yard.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what's going on here? So I tried to saw him running back. I was like, wait a minute, isn't that the dog across the street? So we saw him running around, and I was like, let me go ahead and just kind of follow him a little bit and see where he goes. So he went to the neighbors across their from the street from them.
Hellhound is a she.
She, yeah.
She's a female Doberman.
Okay, hey, who's this? Saw the child, next door neighbor's child. I said, hey, could you get your mom for me? He said, yeah, because they said, no, I'll get him. I said, okay, we'll get him.
Yeah, because the dog shouldn't be out.
Yeah, but
she goes out in the yard, and she generally stays in the yard. But it turns out, the daddy was out there
doing some yard work. I think he was a contractor, or he was working on it. He was cleaning up a house that was right next to.
That's around the corner from
us. And I said, oh, he probably got him. So I said, hey, but see, it was like, she didn't do anything. She didn't bite nobody.
She really didn't. No, she was just very, very excited.
Yeah. I said, oh, hell, you out for your little freedom stroll, are you?
For the concealer, we're going to use the Tier Glide and Hide Blurring Concealer in the shade 8.7N. I think it's 8.7N. I never know. And then, even though I bought this, yes, it's 8.7N. So I'm going to put this under my eye. Y'all note that I do this separately. And then I buff them out separately. Probably would use the Juvia's Place concealer today, but I'm in a mood and I want to use Tier. I don't want to use Tier foundation because I don't want dewy. Now, I do have the Tier matte foundation, but I didn't feel like fooling with the cushion today. So, all right. So now we blend. This is the Morphe 103 foundation, M103 foundation brush, and we blend. Look how that blend out. That is perfect. Perfect match. It blends like butter. Look at that. Quick. It don't take long. Look at that.
Yeah. Not bad, not bad.
So, but yeah, so we eventually secured that divorce in January of 2013, and then it still took you a couple of months
Yes,
of playing around and then trying to be
was
cute
like-
about
I
things.
said okay, yes, but we eventually got there eventually. To make a long story short, so we got there. We started talking about marriage.
Because we talked about that fairly early on. Like I knew.
Yeah.
I put it this way. You know when you serious about somebody, like from the beginning, you already know you serious. Like I wasn't what did y'all hear me say? I ain't about them games.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already like, all right, listen, we a little bit older, so we need to be thinking about what are we doing here? What is the intention of what we are doing here? Are we dating to date, or are we dating for marriage? Like what's the end game here? And he was like, I'm dating to get married. And I'm like, all right, I guess.
Kind of taking it slow, dating for dating, and then it leads to marriage, it leads to marriage. And
Well, that was my thing. I was like, we need to think about what we doing here so we don't waste each other's time. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you're not dating for marriage, you need to say that. And I was cool with that. I'd already been married before, so I didn't really feel like, oh, I need to get married. No. But if you wanted to date to get married, we need to have that conversation also.
Yeah.
All right, this is the M 132 angled concealer brush. Y'all see that? Look at that. Seamless. That thing blended out so well. And it was quick. And this tear finna blend very well too. It looks like it's not going to, and then it does. And I have yet to find a foundation that this does not match. That this tear does not match well with my skin. Like, where you like, oh, I can tell she used concealer. No, you can't. Like, the tear works very well. The shade is perfect for me, too. And I did this shade on the recommendation of Miss Darcy when she was trying this out. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with this. Very pleased. It works well with all of the tear that I have, and it works very well with every foundation that I have. And see that seamless blend, and it's quick and smooth. Oh, and it's full. That thing is very, very good coverage. It don't sleep on the coverage. All right, so y'all can see face is locked down. Now with foundation, let's talk about the blush, because we're going to use blush and we're going to use highlighter. So for the blush, and actually, you know what, I want to use the highlighter first. I do want to use the highlighter first. So we're going to use, for the highlighter, I very seldom use highlighter, but for the highlighter, we are going to use the ColourPop dewy liquid highlighter in the shade Immediately Yes, which it was an immediate yes when you asked. So we dated for 2 years, and I mean, like we knew pretty early on we were probably gonna get married. Probably.
My main thing at the time was trying to make sure I had a stable job, because
yes,
I was going between jobs. I was working for state government at one point, and then at the same time things were getting kind of awkward. I did not want to bring.
You don't want to try to start no family and no marriage
upside down. There's no
and you ain't got nothing going on.
I mean, I was basically told her, no, I wasn't going to get married because I didn't want to put her into some uncertainty and that wasn't just right.
And I had already just come out of uncertainty, and I did not want to go back into
no one
that.
wants to go back in get out.
I literally had just gotten out of that,
and then go back into it again.
Right.
This is not exactly an episode of Sopranos.
But what I already knew though was I knew that you had work ethic and that you were going to put in the work required
right
to
that.
get the situation where it needed to be in terms of having a family and all of that.
Yeah.
I knew that you were going to get that right, so I wasn't that jumped up about it where I was like, oh no, he's not where he needs to be and he's not going to ever get there. I went from, I had just come from, I know how to do what I'm supposed to do, but I choose not to. And ain't nobody had time for all that. So yeah. I was like, I'm not doing that again. That's not going to work.
And it took a while because when we got married, we tried to set up, pay for our own wedding because we weren't. My dad at the time, he basically just was basically close to paying off the oldest of my sister's wedding. I was like, hey, make it easy on him.
Well, my thing was I was not dependent upon a parent to pay for a wedding. I was not doing that. I was not going to have one of my parents-in-law pay for my wedding. My daddy didn't pay for anything with our wedding because I was like, I'm too grown for that. I'm literally a very, very, very grown woman. I don't need somebody else to pay for that. And so I was like, I have a job. I know how to do
various jobs. I kind of help able to get a more stable income to help build up the fund. But for many days, I was switching to jobs and crazy hours. My last job for the current job I have now, I was working at a security company down at downtown at the building called the Capitol Center, and that was third shift, 11 to 7. 11 o'clock at night to about 7 in the morning. That was really. It was kind of, let's how I would say it made you miss out on things. And even for our own anniversary before we even got married, I basically had to go to an act of Congress pulling teeth to be off for that weekend. And I agreed to, hey, I'll fill in for this person when they fill in for me. But it was a whole lot of rigmarole, a whole lot of stuff that it just ended up not doing what it needed to be. And so basically, I got hired by my current job now, and I was kind of glad to get some sleep at last.
Well,
and have a weekend, some of my weekends back.
So what I did here was I added the Essence Soft Touch blush. That's that. And over here, the Soft Touch Bouncy Blush. I really like this. This is in the shade Exotic Daisy. I really like that color. And y'all see it's a little dollop of color. And then I added that highlight. I added a little bit more of the highlight. So I did a little bit of the highlight under here. And I can still see it. And under here. I do need to kind of spread that out a little bit. So yeah, our wedding was so yesterday actually. So we would have been married. We would have been married 6 years if we gotten married on April 10th, 2020, like we were supposed to.
Right.
But of course, pandemic, we did not do that. So, but yesterday was April 10th. And so we would have been married 6 years yesterday. However, we waited a year and we pushed our wedding. We decided, because we kept trying to push it, but COVID was not getting better. So
back and forth. We ended up canceling the wedding, and we basically came to the point where we either get married or we don't.
And we decided, we knew we were getting married. We're going to have to put it on hold for a minute until things calm down. Exactly. And we don't go outside and the outside try to kill us.
Exactly.
So, and see, my thing was, I'm high risk. So, if I get, because of the diabetes, because I have type 2 diabetes, if I get sick, everything is immediately worse. Okay? For him, when he got, because he got COVID from me, when he got COVID, it wasn't nearly as bad. He had a cough, and that was about it.
Basically, like a cold.
He had a slight cold.
Yeah, had the vaccines and the booster shot.
And I did too. But for me, I had fever. I had chills. I had to go lay down for several days. Like, I had the cough. Then I took the Paxlovid because I immediately got on Paxlovid. Paxlovid made me cough even worse. Like, it was like, but the Paxlovid did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah,
it cut everything. It put everything. All right, you can at least function with Paxlovid. So I was on Paxlovid the whole time. Like, I started showing symptoms on Thursday. On a Thursday, Friday morning I was starting Paxlovid. Okay, by the next Wednesday, I was good. Like, I did that day. That time I coughed up that green. Oh, Lord, it was green. But I could at least move around and function. I was still positive, and I am positive for the full 10 days. It is not you're going to be fine after day 5 and you should be able to go back to work. No, I need to stay home. And both times I had COVID, it has been like that. So I know from experience now that we don't need to do that. As y'all can see, the face is prettified, but now we need to set it with powder. So what we're going to use is the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Clarifying Finishing Powder. This is in the shade Medium Tan. As y'all can see, I have used so much of it down here. And I have another one. I'm sitting here looking at it. It's in the kit, the extras kit. So, per my usual process, we're going to take the Pyramid Puff. As y'all can see, it does need to be washed. I am aware. Take the Pyramid Puff. Get her on the Pyramid Puff. Because what I want this to do is hold my color. And then I'm going to take this, do her down a little bit, and then start setting on this face. And mattifying this down. So, COVID, we were trying not to get killed by COVID. So, because we know people who've died from COVID. We know several people. Yeah. So I said, well, we just postponed it. We postponed the wedding until 2021. So April 15th, 2021.
And I took annual leave off for that day because at the time I was working.
Well, I did too, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it was like
it was on a Thursday.
It was on a Thursday, and it was that time we were working. Had a new job. Just started the new job, and I was doing overtime because it was basically an essential worker. And so I got married again. We got married. Got there around 4:00.
We got there right before 4:00.
Yeah,
because we had told Pastor 4:00.
Yeah,
and it was fine. We showed up right on time.
We did.
Of course, my yappy mother-in-law. You know, the same. I'm gonna side eye you for no reason. Mother-in-law.
Listen.
I cannot. But anyway, we actually, it took about 15 minutes and we were done. Now, at that point, we had been together 8 years.
Right.
And, we were in effect married at that point anyway.
Exactly.
We'd already combined household. We done said we presented ourselves as married. We basically common law married. And then they got rid of common law. Exactly. But we had declared ourselves common law well before they got rid of common law. So I wasn't concerned about that.
I thought they brought it back.
They got rid of it. They got rid of it in 2019.
Jeez.
Because when I was in school and we did business law, I had to do the business law class. They talked about common law.
They're making it harder for people wanting to get married. Want people to be married, but yet.
Well, I understand that. Well, no, you need to go on and make a decision. If you're going to talk about you married, go on and do it.
Yeah.
Go on and get that piece of paper, because the piece of paper, it ain't just about it being married. Being married is more than a piece of paper. The piece of paper is your legal protection.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Your piece of paper guarantees you the right to, if he got sick, it would guarantee me the right to be able to go to his hospital room and spend, if it was in fact his last moments, spend his last moments with him. If I hadn't been married to him and he got sick, by right, his parents, who would be his next of kin at that point, could have barred me from his hospital room. Let me tell you about how gay folks, okay, gay folks ran into that, and one of the parents was out here not accepting the fact that their kid was gay, and was like, I don't care that you've been with him and you call yourselves partners or whatever for the last 20 years. No, we don't care about that. We're going to do what we want to do, and you don't have any decision-making process here. So, no, And I said that to him. I was like, listen, we've been together a long time. We don't have any children together. We don't have, we need to have that set up. And we need to go ahead and do it if we're going to do it. So that was my thing. I was like, I don't want to have to explain to nobody nothing about nothing. I want to be able to walk into wherever I need to walk into and say, this is my spouse. And this is the decision that we're making. This is what we're going to do.
Exactly. And if the case of, other than that, even if I was healthy, now probably the only way to override the parents trying to...
Yep. You need to be a sound mind and body. And some of them folks, let me tell you about how in the 80s and 90s and the 2000s, people were dying of AIDS.
Yeah, and it was
and the partner was just absolutely denied coming to the bedside, even though the parent done disowned the kid. And doing all this carrying on. I said absolutely not. What I just added, this was the NYX Buttermelt Blush in the shade Butter Together. I just added a little dollop of color on the cheeks for the powder blush. And I do need to do a little bit right there. Just a tad. Get her a little set up there. So it's a little tad of pink blush there. But sure did. But they were notorious for that, and that is why people started saying we need civil unions, and then that became marriage. Because when they were doing all of that with the Obergefell decision, it didn't affect just gay couples; it affected couples who weren't married.
Exactly.
So I was like, listen, I would want everybody to be able to get married anyway, whether or not I'm in a gay relationship or not. If I decided to marry a woman, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to have some say so in care of my spouse, because they are my next of kin. So yeah, no, I wholeheartedly, yes, gay marriage. Because also you love who you love, and you marry who you want to marry.
Exactly.
I don't, absolutely not. And as a queer woman in America, okay, all right, I'm for everybody getting what they want. So, all right, let's talk about this under eye. This is the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof waterproof liquid eyeliner. And we're going to do the under eye real quickly, because we almost finished here, baby. Because all I got to do now is my lips and set my face. Yeah, with some liquid courage.
And the funny thing happened after we got married, after we had the official ceremony. My father, who was there, father, stepmother, and the youngest of my sisters, who came down. My oldest sister, the oldest of my sister, was living in Virginia at the time. So they asked me. So my father asked me, so you guys gonna have a reception? I was like, sir, really? I gave him that look, like,
outside is literally trying.
Yes,
to
we
kill
know
us.
We have a vaccine, because I gotten one round of it, and then later on got the other round. The thing is, COVID was still in
full swing. Delta was still showing out.
Basically showing their asses. Basically, people were still we're not going to no
This
restaurant.
that was 2021, and
was
Delta
scary.
Delta hadn't even hit the summer of 2021 yet.
Yeah, it's like so everybody was like, "Hey, we got a vaccine. Great, you can reopen everything." But it was not. To me, it was still kind of. You got to have a caution. Yes, you got a vaccine, but people were not taking it. Just foolishness. Or
It
no,
just
we don't
there
want
was
to take
no.
it. It was a bunch.
This
of
was my problem.
junk,
There
bunch
was
of bull.
it didn't seem to be any type of care put into or thought put into. Hey, maybe we shouldn't like be trying to get my daughter. We need to have a little bit of caution and common sense, not get ourselves sick, and also not get our daughter-in-law sick. Who is high risk. Maybe we should, care a little bit.
Yeah, before that, the church that we go to, they said that it was cool for us to have it at church, but as long as it was outside and we had to limit the amount of people. Originally, we had a real big list.
We had
My
126
family
people
was a lot
coming.
larger than Budget Beauty. So we basically, we had
see.
like, they had to shorten that list down, and probably going to still shorten it down to for reception. I mean, the wake.
No, that guest list was 126.
126.
I know, because I was the one who
Yeah,
did the
but
guest
that was
list.
like, wow. That was still a lot of people.
It was.
But we went to Olive Garden. My dad did give us this bottle Cristal.
We picked up Olive Garden to go.
Yeah.
And then we went back to the house and ate and went to bed.
Yeah, but I had to go to work the next day.
Well, and I took the day off after I knew. I was like, what I'm looking for here is do I want to put some primer on my lips here, because what we're going to do for the lipstick, I'm going to use this very, very red, as y'all hear me absolutely rave about Fenty in this house. I'm going to use this very red Fenty Icon, the MVP, the shade, the MVP, this red lipstick as my lipstick here. And I'm going to use, this is the Essence 8 Hour Matte red. This is in the shade, what is this? Comfort. It's the Comfort lip liner, but it's in the shade Classic Red. But I'm thinking of, do I want to put a primer on before I put on this lipstick? This lipstick is not transfer proof. It will come off. But if I'm going to do that, if it's going to come off, I need to have something as a base on my lips. So I'm thinking, if I got that Anastasia Beverly Hills lip primer over there in the kit. That's why I'm trying to look around this camera and see. Bear with me just a second.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was we had Cristal champagne, or was it the
Dom Perignon?
Yes, Dom Perignon, definitely.
It was Dom Perignon.
Yeah, because I'm not a big champagne drinker. It was like, okay, Dom Perignon, cool.
This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip primer.
Yeah, so we end up getting Olive Garden to take home to eat, and had our first meal as husband and wife.
Now, keep in mind, like I say, we've been together 8 years by that point.
But it was that time we had that meal. It was finally it was all settling in that we're married.
That we were married.
Wow, I'm married.
I was like,
I'm married too. I'm married
I said,
now.
wow.
Oh, man. Wow.
I was sitting there looking like,
what?
This is my husband. But I mean, I had been calling him husband the whole time anyway.
Yeah, it was sitting in, but it was actually concrete, actual, absolute married. I said, wow. I'm a married man now. And
like I say, I had been referred to him as my husband, and because we've been together so long.
Yeah. So
because we have been married for 5 years, we've been together 13. So.
And sometimes I say it's like 14, but then it's 13. I say, okay.
Well, it's been 13 officially.
13 officially.
14 if you count the casual dating part.
Yeah, 14 casual, and I think we've been married now. What? 5 years going next week. But it's marriage has been interesting. I mean, like I said,
It ain't been too much different. For me, it's not too much different than
And this is my first
us
marriage.
just right.
This is my first marriage. I mean, it was.
And for you, and that is why I wanted for you to have. This should be your only marriage. First of all,
I'm gonna try to keep it as my only marriage. Thank you. I'm gonna try to keep no.
But this is my thing. For those of us who've done it more than once, and then you marry somebody who hasn't been married before, you want to shield them. You want to do better the second time because you want to shield them from the foolishness that got you in the position that is your second one.
I already know the foolishness. There's been, matter of fact, there's one time it was after when your aunt died. I was getting off from work because at the time I couldn't go to the funeral because I had to work. I was getting off. They're having the repast it was at your aunt's house, and we had. And then everybody was. I mean, most of the people were nice to me, were kind to me. No problems, but we had one aunt that was just being foolish, and I was basically, I was for real talk. I was about to go and Superman punch her through the house. I was, fortunately, but Lindsay's Lynn's cousin saw it and say, hey, let's go out, let's go outside. I mean, the thing is, I didn't want to be that guy to just be disrespectful to your loved ones who just lost someone significant that supported her. Matter of fact, this lady, she was asking me, when are you going to make an honest woman out of my niece? And remember, and out of respect her memory and her and the family, yeah, I'm glad I didn't. I was basically pissed, and then had people we were talking about waiting too much. It was just. That was my son, y'all. Sorry about that.
But you got to learn about just ignoring people.
Yeah.
When people, every accusation is a confession. Okay.
Yeah. It was, but you also learned that they were mad because she was getting married again. I mean, like, bottom line is, it's
and
over
never mind.
everybody.
I have an uncle who's been married 3 times.
Excuse
me. So I'm like, really? This what we worried about? All right.
Yeah, it's just marriage. Marriage is if marriage is in the cards for you, marriage is in the cards for you. And if it's not, I don't hold that against anybody. It's just the thing is, you can't just take it as
that's a personal choice,
and you got to treat it. You got to treat it with respect because bottom line is you got 2 other people, and you got another person involved, and like what Lynn said, you. Merging households together, merging families together. If you're not careful, it can be disastrous.
We merged our lives together
exactly.
fairly early on. Like it was, but that's between the 2 people who doing all the merging and figuring out that that's what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get down with people who feel like their opinion got to be important
exactly.
and whatever.
Exactly. I mean, I'm still trying. It just don't. We got married. Some people asking where this is lasting. Well, let's say we've been 5 years. We've known each other for 13 years. We have been friends.
I mean,
is
anybody marriage lasting? Like, screw off.
Yeah, I mean, you got some people like I got grandparents. They knew in that time they wanted to they were committed. They were solid.
This is the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting mist. Once I spray my face down, this ain't moving. So I'm going to put this on, and then we are finished because this is the completed look.
Yep.
We will not need to use Mr. Sweetful. We will not need to use him because this sets on its own. So
yeah, he got a day off today.
Yeah.
Enjoy his
I'm trying to make sure my lips are good and coated here. Like I said, this is never going to dry down, but this is quite possibly the most beautiful red I've ever seen in my whole life. Is the most beautiful red lipstick. I'm just mad that it's not transfer proof. But knowing that it's not transfer proof for me and most people, That is why I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip primer with it, so that at least my lips will be protected up underneath there, and it's gonna come off. So, all right. So you might want to vamoose because this is going to this is very voluminous.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. I'm spraying my face down.
Wow.
Buddy. All right. So.
Can it come back?
Yes. So I'm now putting on my earrings, and then I have on here, I have on some shapewear. That's why you do not see me with my dress on just yet. I have on some shapewear. These are the gold earrings that I bought. I bought a thing that had like 9 earrings in it, 9 pairs of gold earrings.
Wow.
And so I bought these to go with that dress when I was thinking of that as the potential for the wedding. And so this is the I decided I wanted to wear these. And then I have a fascinator. So if husband, you could go get my fascinator. So we're going to put that on while I'm doing these with this hair. I'm going to let my hair down. I just have it pulled back right now for purposes of makeup and filming. This is the special hair. This is the special retro hair, and I decided I wanted to wear it with the dress today. So, all right. And then also, I'm going to wear my nose ring. So I wore this nose ring in our original wedding photos. I'm going to wear it again. I also wore it in our engagement photos. So 5 years later, here we are. All right, so this is my fascinator. And I need to figure out how to get this on my head. I think I'm going to have to do it like that. And have, because that's kind of how I had the green one. Now I know some of this is really supposed to be pinned like in the top up here, and it come down in the face, because your netting is supposed to cover your face, like cover the side of your face. So I may just fix that. I might have to figure it out, but for right now this will do. All right, so let's let the hair down so we can see how this is gonna look. All right. Ooh, she pretty. She real pretty. So I think I'm gonna wear my hair to the side. Let's move the fascinator. Let's move it, because I think I can do, if I do it like this, it can do the netting down in my face like that. It's being a little weird over here, but that's fixable at some point, I guess. All right. So something like this, maybe. We'll see with the actual dress on. I think I'm gonna pin my hair. I don't know. Let's see if I wear my hair like that. I don't know. We're gonna play with the hair.
Real nice on you. It really does look nice on you.
Yeah. Yay! Thank you.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does.
Husband said it looked nice. So yeah, we'll do like that. So you can at least see my earrings. So all right, we're ready, man. So now the only thing, I could not find my gold gloves, and I have no idea where they are. I wore gold gloves originally with the green. I had gold accessories with the green dress, and so I didn't I couldn't find them, and I don't know where I put those gloves. I do not know where, and it's driving me crazy. So it's fine. I'll go without gloves. I don't really need the gloves, but yeah, I think this will work. I do think this will work. So let me move this a little bit. Get this out of my face. So as y'all can see, this is the hair. This is the hair that I used when I did Jessica Rabbit. This is another wig of that specific style. Because eventually this part down here is gonna get all tangled up and matted, and you can see it's already kind of, it's curls, but it's so we are working on that. But so I only wear this one for like special occasions and things, and so that's what we're doing here. So I want to thank you for watching. Thanks for coming in and watching us yip yap about us and us doing stuff and how we got together. So stay tuned. We will have video, a little bit more video, and some photos from our photo shoot. So thanks for watching. Come back in and watch more of our videos later, and we'll see you later.
Bye, folks. Thanks for putting up with me.
We'll see you later. Peace. All right, guys and gals, we are back. We have done our photos. We are dressed. As you can see, makeup is finished. He is dressed fully.
Hello.
This is, so you guys can see, this is the dress. This dress is exceptionally tight. It's too small. And your girl didn't discover this until she put it on. It got tighter in the 6 months since, you know, like I went to go buy it to wear this. So yeah, it's tight. I feel like a stuffed pig in this. But our photos turned out well. We got some really good shots out here. We are in our front yard. Yep. This is the side yard in my front yard. And this tree has been here forever and ever and ever. It's one of the few surviving trees here. I'll step to the side. You stay where you are. But this tree has been here since my aunt bought the house originally in 1982. So yeah, we still have some trees out here, but this is a some type of, I don't know what type of tree this is actually. It's not a pecan tree, but the rest of the trees around here are pecan trees. So yeah, we'll throw some of the shots in at the end here, so you guys can see the finished product of the photos and things. I'll probably edit this today, maybe tomorrow, and get everything posted, and so you guys can see. But yeah, this is how everything turned out.
Yeah. Yep.
So
real beautiful day outside.
It is absolutely gorgeous out here. There is not a cloud in the sky.
Not one single cloud.
Not super hot. It's not super cold.
Just the right amount.
It is perfect out here. So we are going to probably change clothes, and then I'm going to go buy some makeup, because I have a few things I wanted to get from Ulta, and it is they're on sale. So everything in my cart is on sale. So I'm super excited because I'm fixing to get this Juvia's Place Culture, the first Culture palette, and get that cheaper than what it actually is. That palette is usually $38, and right now it's on sale for $26. So, and yes, I am shining like a disco ball out here. This dress has sequins on it, and so this was one of the choices for my sister-in-law's wedding. And I wound up not wearing this. I wore the purple Dark Horse dress that y'all hear me call the Dark Horse dress. But this was one of the choices, and it definitely gives off matron Mama Morton from Chicago. And so I also have on a shapewear thing underneath this, and I'm like, ooh, I can't move. Like, I can't move. If I turn too hard, it hurts. So I was like, ooh, and if I sit down, that's it. I'm not getting back up. So I am very happy to get out of this dress, because getting in it was hell. So anyway, thanks for watching. Come back and see us later. Happy 5 years to us.
Yay!
Yay! happy 13 years to us.
Oh yeah, very true, very
Yay.
true. That, yeah, definitely. So,
So
5 years and 13 years, 18 years total.
no, you can't do that. They're concurrent.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
We've been together total 13 years, but
okay.
married for
All
5.
right, I was just trying to add them on, but hey, that's okay. But
But-
still, they're all good.
Yes, so very, very happy, very excited for years to come.
Yep.
So yeah, maybe when we hit year 10 married is when we'll actually have our reception. I don't know. Maybe we might do it at year 7. I don't know. So we'll see. So thanks for watching. Come back in and watch more of my videos later. We are officially done with this episode, so this is it. We'll see you guys later. Drop a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Come back
Please.
and let us know what you think. We'll see you later.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.